Okay, being a Rock Island fan, I picked up this Mantua 440 America, Rock Island in Peoria. So these are DC. These are really nice. These are all metal. They're heavy as can be. But what I've done is I opened up took the bottom of the locomotive apart, and I was able to take the wires that go to the light, one of them grounded right to the frame, and I went ahead and hooked it back so it's running back. I'll show you in a second. And the second wire that comes out of the locomotive is the track feed that comes back out of it, which would be one of them. Then the second track feed comes off the tender. So I'm going to turn it kind of sideways. Hope you can kind of see through it a little bit. You can see over here this wire, that's the red wire. And then on the other side are the blue and the white wire. So those are the wires that come out of the locomotive, and they come back into the tender. Now, as you can see right here, I've got this truck off because I had to take the top off, and it just makes it easier to get to those screws. I'll put it right back on again in a minute. But you can see the blue and the white wire running here. And then if you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this screw is what holds the motor in. There's a slot in this metal part. And of course this whole base is basically attached to the wheel, so it basically comes up and gets power to the motor off this side. So what I did was I took a piece of shrink, and you can see the green here, that screw, I put the shrink over it, took my soldering iron, made it look like an hourglass in the middle, put that down, then I let the shrink itself work as an isolator. Then I've gone ahead and taken an 8-pin plug and brought its wires back and attached them directly to the motor, top and bottom, and picked up this wire right here is going to give me the left side pickups off this base back to the decoder, which can't fit in here. There's no room in here for anything. Here's the the tender, an old wood type, and it doesn't leave any space for a thing at all. It's really tight. So then I thought, okay, now I'm gonna have to find me a car. So I found me an old Mantua car, and inside of it now, you can see I put in a speaker that fit just perfectly. I brought those wires back, and they come down to this Tsunami light steam decoder. The decoder is inside as well, as you can see. Then I went ahead and channeled out the metal weight. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the wires coming to it, then you can see it coming down, and it protrudes out the bottom, and that gives me my 8-pin female socket, and it works perfectly. So I can bring this back, and it just goes up underneath there. These will be just looped a little bit, and it plugs into the tender. The sound, because the speaker is facing forward, will come out these windows on the door, and it should project the sound back up to the locomotive about as good as I can. So as you can see, then I've used some double back tape to hold everything in place as it goes together. There's a lot of components that go on this thing, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. It'll be kind of fun to do. This is a really good looking car. I went ahead and used the tacky paper in there, the stove and everything, or the smokestack that goes on top of it. But I opened up the windows again to the baggage doors on both sides to let more sound come out. So we'll see how it works out. I'm thinking it should work out pretty good. That yellow tape you see, or whatever color that is, that's kept on tape. That just makes sure I don't short anything out, and it's kind of like a good protector. Plus it looks better looking inside the car when you see that color instead of the crappy old metal. So when I get all this done, I'll go ahead and come back to it, and we'll see how it sounds and how it runs. I'm really excited about it. These are, like I said, they're so small, they're so tiny. As you can see, they're just really small. And there's no room, not even in here, to put a speaker. There's just no room anywhere on this thing to put a decoder or anything. So I had to get a little bit creative by loading that up back here in the car. So we'll see how it looks. I'll get back to this in just a few minutes. Okay, she's done except for putting the couplers on the combination car. That was a little quick, using the Tech 6. The little locomotive's kind of noisy, but these things are, so I just have to turn up the sound of the locomotive. I'm not even hearing the other chuffs yet, but I know I can adjust that later, so. This locomotive's not broke in yet. I love the way the light comes on real slow. Anyway, there she is. The best I can do with no room in the locomotive or tender. And I'm pretty pleased with it, actually. I get this little thing on DCC with sound, and I can't ask for much more than that. So that ends it. I'll just put this on YouTube, just so anybody that's kind of curious about how they can do theirs might get some ideas, and if they can think of something better, let me know. Leave comments. And thanks for watching.